Hello, everybody. Welcome to Someone's in the Kitchen with Harry. My name is Harry, for those of you who follow us. And for our first-time guests, I'm Harry, as I said, and you've joined us at a very, very good time. We have a very powerful, exciting program lined up for you today. I mean, I'm just bursting with energy. I was looking at some of the other broadcasters that we have at WYTV7. And they're pretty calm, and they're pretty cool, and they're pretty collective. And me, I'm bouncing around, put my head in the camera, I'm doing all kinds of crazy stuff, man. But that's just me. That's who I am. I'm full of life. I'm full of energy, and that's just me. So what you see is what you get. So before we get started, I would like to thank our amazing sponsors, WYTV7 out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Support them, guys. As you support them, it's a benefit to you, because this program and everything that they do is about giving back to you, about serving you, supporting you. I do it through trying to show you how to do quick, fast, easy, delicious recipes under an hour. We have other broadcasters talking about financial services, talk about marriage, talk about dating. Heck, we even got one guy who's a barstool pastor. I think that's a cool program. So there's several other programs out there. I encourage you to go to their website, WYTV7's website, and check it out. And of course, I'd like you to watch my program too, because I think I can benefit you and help you in other ways. So once again, help us to help you as we ask for your support so we can make things better. And speaking of better, you're going to start to notice the quality change in videos, in the audio. We were kind of doing this in a way that wasn't quite as good as I thought it would be. So yesterday I went out and I invested a few dollars, and I hope that you can see us clearly now better, that our audio, the enunciation is clear and everything. Again, all this is designed to help you, to serve you. I consider myself a servant of humanity, and the exciting thing about serving people is you're always looking for ways to make it better for them. How can I do this that's going to make them happy? How can I do this, put a smile on their face? How can I do this to make things better? Always striving for things higher and better and above, all for you. And the reason why we do that is because you are important. You matter. You're special. You're somebody. And I know that there's billions of people out there, and everybody's got a uniqueness about them. But all of you that we try and reach and touch, you matter. You're important to us. So you're going to notice the quality change. I hope it's going to be really, really good for you. That's one of the things that I want to share with you. I got a little list here. There's so much going on. I kind of hate to go off a list, but I need stuff to trigger my little pea brain sometimes. So welcome our followers. Welcome our first-time guests. And I'll follow with some more stuff on that a little bit later. We thank WYTV7 out of North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. Amazing people. We're going to do things a little bit different today. That's going to go right in the sink, guys. That's a trash can for today. We're going to do things a little bit different today. Usually my lovely bride is up here introducing me, and she gives me this nice introduction. Everybody claps for me, like I'm the man, But this time, I'm going to be clapping for them. I have two very, very special guests on our program today. I'm going to introduce them to you here in a minute. But if you've been following us, I put a couple plugs in about this. So this may seem redundant to you, but bear with me as I go through it. For those that are with us for the first time, I hope you have a good understanding and grasp what the program is going to be about. I coined this little phrase, and I haven't patented it or nothing, but I've been using this, okay? And so here's the premise of today's show and a few shows that are going to come after us. Life happens, tragedies happen. We had a major tragedy happen here in Vegas back in October, absolutely horrible. But when anything tragic happens, We got what we call first responders, police department, fire department, special units, paramedics, you know, ambulance. Those are the guys that just jump right out into the situation and try and contain it for whatever it is going on. And then you got the middle responders, what I call the middle responders. Those are people that are following up after the first responders. They're taking care of the people. They're bandaging them up. They're giving them medic. They're trying to keep them alive in some cases, you know. So doctors, nurses, the hospital staff, anybody that's in the hospital staff. Second, or lastly, this is what I've kind of come up with on my own. Like I said, I kind of coined the phrase. I call them end responders. And the end responders is kind of a taboo subject because nobody likes to talk about it. Everybody likes to talk about life and having a good life and enjoying life, like this, like that, like that. Hey, I'm right there with them. I'm not putting anybody down on that. I want good things in life. I don't want bad things. But then there's another reality to life, and it's called death. And our end responders are those people that deal with our loved ones, our family member, our friends. Oftentimes, like I said, it's just a taboo subject. A lot of people don't like to talk about it. And I don't want to walk around talking about death all the time either. But what we want to do today and for the next couple shows is we want to highlight and honor the people who serve in hospice care. Those are the end responders. There's nurses, there's doctors, there's support personnel, managers, supervisors. I want to focus in on at least this particular presentation, and if I can get more people in from the different positions there, I will do that. But I want to focus on the CNAs, Certified Nursing Assistants. And these particular CNAs work at Infinity Hospice Care here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, this is a very personal opinion of mine, so management, don't get mad at me. I hope I don't say anything to offend you, but I'm going to tell you what, in my personal opinion, just my personal opinion, okay, I think the CNAs work the hardest for you guys, both in-house and out-of-house. To me, they're like the grunts in the foxhole. They're in the field. And I say that because oftentimes these CNAs are giving the comfort, the care, brushing their teeth, bathing them, combing their hair. Well, they'd have an easy time with me. I don't have no hair here, so it would be, you know. But anyway, yeah, you know, a little bit of peanut gallery stuff going on back here. You guys will get your turn. Just hold on, you know. And so even, you know, just so many things going on, and politics aside, guys, our country, the way that it is, let's just set all the political stuff aside, okay, and don't even consider that. These people, your loved ones, are being cared for and given the dignity, the respect, and the comfort they need because they have made this country what it is today. Okay, the good stuff. They bought in to the American dream, into the American lifestyle, and to the endless opportunities and possibilities, you know, and now they're nearing the end of their journey, and oftentimes the spouse has already passed on, the family members are too far away, you know, whatever the reason. Sometimes the very last voice that these people will hear, the very last arm or hand that they'll touch, will be these amazing CNAs. I call them God's angels here on earth. Again, guys, don't get mad at me. I don't think they get paid enough, okay? I really don't. But, you know, I mean, you know, I'm just saying, don't get mad at me. My wife's going to kill me. She'd probably have to go to management and beg and plead for her job. Oh, please, let me see my job. You don't know what you're talking about. I do know what I'm talking about. They're not the only ones. but maybe they do it for a different reason. Maybe there's a higher calling and a higher purpose. Maybe their treasures is stored up for them elsewhere. But at any rate, I am very, very humbled. Whew. This is hard, guys. Only because of what they do. I try and serve you guys by giving you a plate of food, showing you how it works, real easy to do, make things easy. But what I do absolutely, unequivocally pales in comparison to what these guys do. Okay? So we have two of what I consider, my opinion again, Infinity's finest at the top of the food chain there. Okay, I might have to go and make an account for this video to them. I don't know. But I have two very, very special people, top notch, know what they're doing, been in the game for a while, so to speak, of what they do. And of course, the first one I'd like to introduce to before I don't know, if I come and slap me, so I want to wring my neck. The show might be ending here in about 10 seconds. Yeah, she's giving me the old. I would like to introduce to you Miss Barbara. Barbara, could you please come up? She is a CNA for Infinity Hospice, of course. She's my other half.
Hi there. Hi, WYTV7. Thank you.
Okay, so this is Barbara, okay? And I'm going to just take a few minutes with Barbara. Well, let's bring up Brian, okay? The next one we have, another top-notch person here, is Mr. Brian. All right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brian. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, you know why he's happy here? He gets a free meal. He's a single guy.
Oh, yes, that's the reason why.
Yeah, I told you we like to have fun here. So I've already prepared everything. What we're going to have is we're going to have sauteed pastrami and sauteed roast beef, and we're going to make some amazing sandwiches out of this, guys. Like I told you, quick, fast, easy, delicious recipes under an hour. Ladies and gents, if you're getting off work 5 o'clock, got to pick the kids up, got to go to the store, got to do this, got to do that. Hey, we can shave an hour, at least an hour off of that time for you. Gives you an extra hour of sleep, extra hour with your kids, extra hour if you're watching TV, whatever the case may be. So before we get started in the actual taste test, Barbara, let me ask you and tell our viewing audience, why are you in hospice care?
Well, hospice was the calling for me to come here to Las Vegas, to go to school, to get a certificate, to get a license also, which I did. And for 2 years, I've been with Infinity Hospice Care. And like I said, it is a calling, and it's very peaceful.
See that, guys? Now here's a taboo subject. Nobody likes to talk about this. Now, just let me just tell you for on the record. When we first got together, Lord knows he was involved. Yes. Ever since I met her, that's all she talked about was going into hospice care. And once we got her through school, got her certified, she got, what, 30 years experience in the medical field?
Well, I've only been with hospice care for 2 years, but I actually retired 28 years.
There you go. In what? What else have you done?
Well, I've worked with severe mental retardation in the institution.
That's why she's with me.
And mental health institution for 10 years also. That's why I'm with him.
She's getting it. She's getting it.
Also in intensive and critical care unit. And it's been a pleasure. It's been rewarding every day. It's been a blessing to be there in Infinity for people that need help. And also, it's not only for our patients, it's also for our families.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, the hardest part sometimes, the patients will seem somewhat easier to deal with and to try and handle the families too. That's part of their job. Part of what they have to do, because nobody likes to go through that process, and yet we know that it is absolutely inevitable, and here's one of those angels. If you find yourself in that situation with a loved one, a family member, a friend, and you're in Las Vegas, this is the one that you want if you can possibly help. And I know there's a lot of wonderful CNAs and good CNAs out there, but I'm like the guy that says, you know, I got the best wife in the whole world. All the guys say that. I got the best CNA in the whole wide world too. Okay, so just work with me and don't be critical of me on that comment. Okay, and so, like I said, Barbara, ever since I met her, she's wanted to go into hospice care. Now, once she finally got into the position, and you know, she would go to work, and you know, like most couples, we call in and we check with each other, and you know, on break time, of course, and finish. She's always on her break when she calls me. And she'll call me and she'll be like, "Hi." I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderful." I mean, it sounded like she's out at a party or something. And she's the only person I've met that when she gets to work, she gets amped up. A lot of us get to work and go, "Oh, gosh, what I got to do today? I'm so far behind." I think this one, when she gets to work, it's like an adrenaline rush, and she's so into what she's doing. Her personality, her emotions, her feelings, everything is just amped way up to the nth degree. And I got to ask her, where are you, girl? "Oh, I'm at work." "Really? You sound like you're at a party, girl." But anyway, that's how Barbara does things, okay? Now, ladies, strapping young lad, single. Oh, look. Great, big, huge heart, lady.
Yes.
I don't. Is he better looking than me? Is all this better than all that?
Howdy.
Oh, look at that! She doesn't walk away.
Yeah,
You know, see, I told you guys, we like to have fun here.
Yeah.
But here's a very, very. How old are you, Ryan?
I'm not going to say.
He's not going to say. Okay. Can I say young man? Am I okay to say young man? Okay. We have a nice, strapping young man here. Got a career path set ahead of him, but I'm going to let him talk to you. So I'm going to start off the question. When did you get into hospice care, Brian?
I got into hospice care almost, I would say, 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yes.
Okay. And why hospice care?
Well, it started almost as a curiosity. I didn't know much about hospice. When I first kind of was introduced to hospice, I was shadowing a doctor, and he was involved in hospice. So I went along with him to visit a few patients in their homes. I wasn't too familiar with hospice. You know, most people, when they think about healthcare patients, they think about the hospital setting. You know, hospital setting with hospital beds and nurses running up and down the hallways. But it was a very eye-opening experience, so I decided to volunteer shortly after. I shadowed this doctor.
Okay, hold on. You volunteered for hospice? Did you
Yes.
say? Okay, folks, did you hear that? Everybody that I personally have talked to about hospice, telling us what my lady does, and if I tell them what Brian does, they go, "Oh, I can't." No, not me. That's God bless them. So here's a guy that volunteered to do it. Okay, continue on. I just had to make that point because I think it's amazing. I mean, it's just amazing. So continue on, please.
So I volunteered, and I was a volunteer for about, say, a little over a year. So I would see patients as a volunteer and spend time with them and kind of do the things that we're able to take for granted, such as walking, doing the groceries, you know, things that we don't have to think about doing, but it's quite difficult for them to do. Just having some company over. So I was very happy. It was a very fulfilling experience as a volunteer. So that motivated me to pursue becoming a CNA. It would be a way in which I can do more for the patients that I was seeing in the home. And I've met so many wonderful people along the way, other CNAs, volunteer coordinators, nurses, social workers, the families of the patients themselves, the patients, the doctors. So I have nothing but, I can go on for hours and hours about this stuff, but it continues being very rewarding. Of course, not without its own set of difficulties, but I feel like I am truly blessed to have found out about hospice, and I'm able to do this for, you know, for group of people that are in need, and not only for the patients that I help take care of, but also the families of the patient themselves.
Okay, one last question, Ryan. Well, maybe one or two more, but one for sure here. Has there ever been a defining moment? I mean, did a patient say something? Did a situation happen that when you walked away and said, you know what, this is what I'm supposed to do. I am supposed to be in hospice care. This is my career. This is my calling. Or is any defining moment for you that you can say, nailed it, that said, this is what I'm supposed to do with my life?
I would say there's several. I would say one of the first experiences that you're kind of speaking on, even though I've had so many experiences. When I was a volunteer, I was able to meet with one of the patients, and I saw him over the course of, I don't know how many months, it might have been over a year, and I was able to help him in so many different ways, and I kind of saw the beginning and proceeded along this whole journey towards the end, the end when the patient finally passed away. And most people, when I tell them something like this, it's very difficult for them to kind of comprehend or understand why somebody like Barbara or myself or any of the wonderful folks that I work with are able to do this. But it's something that I feel is a privilege for people like us to be there, for the patients to allow us to be there, the families to allow us to be there. And we do the best that we can because we know it's a difficult thing that we all have to accept and go through. But if we can make that a little bit easier, then I feel very satisfied and happy that I was there for it.
So what you're saying, Brian, just sort of have it clear for our listening audience out here, just the whole experience in itself is what, it's kind of like maybe not the day in redundancy, but just the fact that you're able to be that person to help these people, to help the families and all that stuff, that's what does it for you, right? Right. Great. That's outstanding. You see that, guys? Heart of gold, I'm telling you, man. Now I think, if I'm not mistaken, Brian wants to go on to be studying to be an RN, correct? Correct. Right. Any other aspirations after an RN, or is he going to kind of level off right there?
I'd like to become an RN, still continue working in hospice, just because I enjoy the field, and working as a CNA, I kind of know what responsibilities I have and what difficult tests I encounter. As an RN, I work with RNs, I work with social workers, so becoming an RN, I can do something different for the patients, even though it's still patient care. But it's something that I would like to do, and then from then on, we'll see what happens. But it's just one of my next goals in healthcare and hospice specifically.
There you go, guys. Amazing young man. Such a one give us a. I've had the pleasure of interacting with Brian a couple times when I see him. I've learned more about him today than I have the entire time that I've kind of briefly interacted with him. He's well versed in the field, as you can tell. His articulation, his knowledge, but most of all, his heart and his willingness to start as a volunteer and then continue on to where he's at now, and says, even when I take it to the next level, I still want to work with these people. He still wants to work with your loved ones, your family members, your friends. And guys, I'm telling you what, I'm going to try and make it through without getting choked up again. But Brian, I am just honored. Totally. Thank you for your service. You young lady, come up here. I got to get this one back. I got to get a couple more questions before we get into our sandwiches. We're having pastrami and roast beef sandwiches, sauteed. Okay, so now that Brian gave his spiel, now I want to ask you, Barbara, look at the camera, not all over the place, look that way. Okay, you tell our listening audience, was there ever a defining moment, a particular incident, a patient, whatever, as Brian described, what was it that happened, what dynamics were going on that you said, you know what, this is it, God, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is my last stop, this is what I want to do, I want to work in hospice care. Was there anything like that for you?
Well, when I first started with hospice, I pretty much knew what hospice was like. And there was a patient that when I first started, and we got to know each other, very nice woman. And throughout our caring, my caring for her, the last day she told me, she says, "I'll always love you and I'll see you in heaven." And from then on, I said, well, there's my guide list right there to heaven. Being there with patients that want to say things that they haven't said for, to other people. I mean, it's very touching to hear them say it to you. And all you can do is just love on what you want to do to help all these patients and their families, and send them on their way without fear.
There you go. Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong. I think you left something out.
What?
She said that, didn't she tell you she'll never forget you?
That's true. She'll never forget.
She'll always love you.
And she'll always love me.
And we'll see you soon.
And she'll see me soon.
Folks, that right there, if you don't know it, the lady, the patient, is preaching the gospel to her. Remember Jesus on the cross? The thief and, the robber? One guy cursed Jesus and said, if your God falls down off the air, right? And the other one said, Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And Jesus said, assuredly, I tell you that this day you will be with me in paradise. So this wonderful lady who transitioned from this life to the next was preaching the gospel, her very last words. So with that said, I would like to say I am honored. I'm proud to have her as my wife. She puts up with me. That's a calling in itself, folks. She'll tell you. That's another program. We can talk about that later. But I'm honored, and I think I can do this. And if I can't, then well, I just like to give my sweetie a kiss and say thank you for your service. Okay. Okay.
And I'd like to thank my partner. Brian and I are partners on Mondays. During the day, we do have some night shifts together, but we work pretty well, and we got each other's back. And we respect every one of the CNAs that work in Infinity Hospice Care. We have about 11 CNAs that do work in there, and we have field workers also that are just as hard workers as we are. So we'd like to thank Infinity Hospice Care.
Absolutely. Yes, there are field workers too, guys. A lot of times they can't come into the facility, so they have field workers. And I mean, these people are going into people's homes, and I'm telling you, if I can get a chance, and we've talked about it amongst ourselves, if I get a chance, I'd like to bring a couple of field workers in. But Brian has worked in the field too a couple times, so I'm sure he can tell you some of the challenges that come with that. But we'll save that for another time. Maybe we'll bring him back with the field workers. But let me just say this: the doctors, the nurses, the CNAs, quit hiding. The doctors, the nurses, the CNAs, the management, the supervisors, the support personnel, the owners of this wonderful company, all of you guys, hats off to you. I respect you. I admire you. And I want to tell you right now, from my whole heart, thank you for your service to our community, to our family, our friends and loved ones. I don't think personally there's a higher calling than what you guys do. And I'm humbled, and I'm proud to be just a very wee small part of it by supporting her and him. And these guys sometimes, like, I cook food and we send it into them. Just, medical people like to eat. They give them food, gone in 5 minutes. And when one shift doesn't finish, the next shift finishes, gone. In fact, sometimes when one shift finishes it and the second shift finds out, they go, well, where's ours? It's all gone already. So with that said, it's a nice little segue. We are going to have some sandwiches today that I prepared. Okay, so actually I need to have some room, so if you guys would go over there, Brian, have a seat. I'm going to be setting up their food for them right here. This whole thing, ladies and gents, prep time, cook time. Oh gosh, I would say maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. Okay. So what I did is I went the extra mile. I actually buttered the bread and put some garlic spread on it, and I just on a flat iron, whatever you want to call it, pan, grill, and cook it up. Real easy to do. Butter and garlic spread works really, really well. Okay, so as you can see, comes out toasted. Okay, just a little bit of extra flavor to the sandwiches. Now, Brian has put in a request for mayonnaise on his. Okay, so we're gonna get Brian mayonnaise, guys, because that's what he is asking and what he deserves. Okay, we're gonna put some mayo on this for him. Okay, Barbara, do you need special requests on your sandwich?
No, thank you.
Just plain?
Just plain.
No mustard, no mayo? You got to have it with Russian dressing, though.
Yes.
Now, I just mentioned something, guys, and here's my sense of humor. Russian dressing on salad. Okay, now, do me a favor, and this is said in fun and humor. Make sure you keep your receipt. Okay, because I don't want you emailing me or send me a message, Harry, I've been brought up on charges for colluding with the Russians because I had Russian salad dressing. Just saying, guys, a little bit of humor, right? My wife goes, you know, this may be the last show. I might get killed after this. I might be on my way myself. So what we decided to do is do the pastrami. I'm going to put that on there for them. Okay. And we're going to do the roast beef. Decided to do two. Yeah, because it was so fast and prep time, cook time, and so easy to do. Now, folks, remember, if you're getting off of work, got to pick the kids up, got to get home and eat. You don't want to spend 2-3 hours in the kitchen preparing a meal. This meal right here, you can shave off an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours of your nightly routine, and have that extra time to do whatever it is you want to do. Watch TV, hang with your family, do your social media, whatever you want to do. Now, for side dishes on this particular meal, tater tots, French fries, salad, soup, chips. I mean, you can put anything you want, but this is just like going to a restaurant saying, give me a pastrami sandwich with roast beef. Give me a roast beef sandwich with fries and the au sauce, you know, whatever. So this is gonna be just as good. I got this out of the deli, half a pound. Sometimes they have it in boxes that's already pre-made, but however you get it, you can go get it at the deli. I cut it up with scissors instead of slicing it. Just cut it up with scissors. I put some olive oil in on the pan. Use some accent salt to season it up with, right? A little accent salt. The infamous Lowry spaghetti sauce, or spaghetti, I would say spaghetti sauce, seasoned all salt. We're real big on Lowry's around here. I'm telling you, I got to talk to these guys about this because we're like almost Mr. and Mrs. Lowry's over here. And then I put in a little dash of the secret rub. Before the program is over, the season's over, I promise to tell you what's in this. But there's a little look. Woo! I'm telling you. So put that in there. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, less than 5 minutes. Constantly stirring it around, letting it kind of cook up. You're in business, okay? Real easy to make. Now, we're going to do pickles here too. They requested pickles. All right, and then you're going to do the pickles. All right, and this one I dropped, so we're going to put right back over here, and I'm going to clean up my mess there. Okay, so we got pickles there. And we're going to go with the Russian dressing. Okay. Remember, hang on to your receipt, okay? I got mine. I can show it to you if you want. Okay. Okay. So, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pickle and I'm going to put it over here on this side. Okay. And we're going to put the Russian dressing right on top here of the pastrami. and of the roast beef. Okay, a little bit there. Okay, that's good. Now, we are going to take this, and here's how our taste is going to work today, folks. I'm going to cut this sandwich in half, and each one of them get to try a roast beef and a pastrami. Okay, and that. Put it over there like that. We'll cut it up like this here for them. Okay, so voila. So I'm going to set it up for them, one roast beef and one pastrami per. I'm going to rinse my hands real quick. Okay, I'm back with you folks. Now, for the sake of time, because we had so much content in this today, I was going to make tater tots with this in the air fryer. Amazing. Got to get an air fryer, guys. But we're just going to go with the chips today. Again, time constraints, content, whatever. So we're going to put a few chips on here. And Mr. Brian and Miss Barbara, please bring yourself back up here. Put that over there. We're going to put this off to the side. Okay. Let me get this out of your way. So there's one for you and a napkin for you, my friend. And there's one for you, darling, and a napkin for you. Have at it and tell me or your listening audience what you think. I don't think you need a fork tonight. Just grab that thing and eat it. Come on, man. Don't be shy. I think you both got. You took pastrami. What did you get? Pastrami too. So they both just tried the pastrami. I'm hearing some sound effects. Good.
Now you said you had the receipts, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Before I admit that this is amazing.
Right. Before tell them that.
He has the receipts.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
And this is very good. Very good.
Okay. So now we're going to try the roast beef.
So this is the roast beef.
I love those sound effects, guys.
Very, very good, Harry.
That dressing really gives out the taste.
You hear that, guys?
Very good.
Yeah. The Russian salad dressing does that. Right? Amazing. Yes. Okay, so they have a tip. So what I'm going to do now is you guys take your plates and they're going to go finish their lunch while I finish yakking and close out the program, okay? So go ahead and have a seat there. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. And so there you have it, folks. A meal that if you're in a hurry, goes well with the kids. It's a sandwich. You can use regular bread. I happen to use like French rolls because that's what I like personally. You can use any kind of bread you want. Chips, French fries, soup, salad, whatever you want. The whole prep time for that meal right there, ladies and gents, I'm telling you, less than 10 minutes and you got a meal, okay? And one that the kids won't complain about, okay? And very inexpensive, gosh, under 20 bucks, guys. 20 bucks. Now, tomorrow what I'll do is I'll take that roast beef and that pastrami, and I'll make me 2 pieces of toast. I'll put some tomatoes on it. I'll put some avocado on it. I'll poach a couple eggs. Heck, I probably have to put on some of the infamous Russian salad dressing. And I'll have my meal then. When you make your breakfast like that, there's nothing faster for a breakfast in the morning when you're in a hurry to get out to go to work than a bowl of cereal. Right? Cereal beats anything that I can do as far as time-wise. And cereal tastes good. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you want to change it up a little bit, then that's what you want to do. So thank you, Brian. Thank you, Barbara. It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. I've been humbled. They're just back there chowing away. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and keep talking, whatever. Okay, but I want to leave you with just a couple things. 2 things here. The first thing is in representing or honoring, I should say, and highlighting these particular CNAs and CNAs across, the country and maybe the world as well. I'll leave you with this thought. Now, this what I'm about to say depends on what your belief system is. So the subject of death and hospice care, ending, you know, your journey ending here is kind of a taboo thing, and most everybody would look at it as the end. And I would ask, for those of you that are listening and watch this program, is it really the end? I guess that depends on what your belief system is. Let me leave you with this thought when it comes to your belief system. Everybody knows Billy Graham. He's been dubbed America's pastor. Recently passed away a month ago, 2 months ago. I'm not sure, forgive me, the Graham family, but recently, we'll say recently passed away. And I want to leave you with this thought. It's said that when Billy Graham's son, I believe it was Franklin, and I don't quote me on that, but I believe it was, when he was told that his father had just passed and has gone on, they said he chuckled. And they were like, wow, why did you, we just told you your dad passed away, and you're kind of laughing about it? Why are you? And he said, let me tell you something. My daddy always said this. The day that you hear that Billy Graham is dead, is gone, passed away, he said, don't you believe it for a second, because I will be more alive than I've ever been my entire life as I spend eternity with the Creator and in heaven. So is hospice care for those people, or those people when they're at that point in their journey, is it really the end? Again, I'll leave that up to you to make a decision, decide, okay? Because it could just be the beginning of eternal life, everlasting with the Creator. Up to you, your call. Lastly, I need to take a little bit of time just to promote the program. We've stepped it up with our camera, with our audio, things of that nature. We're running until the end of May. We take a little bit of a break, and then we go on into the next season. But a way that you can help us to help you as we continue on down the path to put this together, look at WYTV7. The programs are listed on there. Go, not just my programs, the other programs they have, as I said earlier, financial, dating, Barstool Pastor, you know, Walking with God with Kyle. You know, there's like, I think there's like 15 of us, and we're going to have 22 when the fall season starts. So there's plenty of content there for you. As far as this program goes, YouTube every Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 12 Eastern Standard. The video comes up. You can watch it. We've already done, for those of you who are just joining us and following us, we've already done an intro to the program. We've done the infamous ground beef and potatoes tacos. We've done, what have we done? Spaghetti, the infamous Lowry's. There we go with that Lowry thing again. Lowry spaghetti sauce, over 50 years in my family. We've done pork chops and tomato sauce. The last one that just aired was the lomo saltado with my brother, Peruvian dish. So they're listed there. So go to YouTube, Facebook, they're on there. We're gonna do some Facebook Lives too, but they're also posted on my fan page. Someone's in the Kitchen with Harry. Again, guys, this isn't about me. It's about you. And I told you in the beginning of the program, I do this because you matter, you're important, and we want to help make your life easier in the kitchen. There's also a radio version of this where they're just speaking of it. If you're driving at home, maybe you're driving at home and say, oh my God, I need to listen to this. Maybe give me an idea for dinner. It's called Spreaker.com, SPREAKER.com. That comes out on Tuesday mornings. That posts Tuesday morning to that website. And then Wednesday, whatever was talked about on Tuesday on Spreaker goes on to YouTube, Facebook, WYTV7's website, et cetera, except for the YouTube Live like this one is. This is our first live event, so I hope you enjoyed it. I just want to applaud Brian and Barbara, myself. I wish it was more of us. You know, if you're out there, you know, give them a hand. Again, a great, big, huge thank you to Infinity Hospice Care, the entire staff, the owners, the managers, the CNAs, the nurses, the doctors. Hey, the custodian there too. Custodian's got to keep the place clean, man. The supply stocked up. So even he or she is a part of that too. With that said, thank you very much, folks. We hope you enjoyed the program. Be looking forward to seeing you next time. Take care and have a wonderful week. Goodbye.
42 minutes.